In the ruins of the ancient world, one name struck more terror than any other: Baal. Mentioned in the Quran as the idol that led an entire nation astray. Who was this entity, and why did the Prophet Ilyas, A.S., risk his life to destroy its worship? In the long and winding corridors of history, some names are whispered with a shiver of fear. They are echoes from a world that is no longer our own, yet they carry a weight that still presses upon the modern imagination. One such name is Baal. For countless generations, across the sun-scorched lands of the ancient Near East, Baal was not merely a word. He was a power, a force of nature given a face and a form. The Quran asks, with piercing clarity, "Will you call upon Baal and leave the best of creators?" Deep in the fertile Bekaa Valley of modern-day Lebanon, the ruins of Baalbek stand as a testament to human ambition and divine aspiration. The scale of this ancient city is breathtaking, defying easy explanation. Its most famous features are the colossal stones that form the foundations of its temples, some of the largest hewn blocks ever moved by human hands. One of them, the stone of the pregnant woman, remains in its quarry, weighing an estimated 1,200 tons. These monolithic marvels slow the breath and humble the mind, forcing us to wonder about the people who possessed the skill, the vision, and the sheer manpower to carve and place them with such impossible precision. They were the base for a sacred complex of immense proportions, a place designed to inspire awe and command reverence. Imagine walking through this city in its prime. Towering columns, some 60 feet high, created a forest of carved stone. Grand staircases led upwards towards sanctuaries that gleamed under the Mediterranean sun. The air would have been thick with the scent of incense, the sound of chanted prayers, and the low hum of a city dedicated to its gods. The Romans later called it Heliopolis, building temples to Jupiter, Venus, and Bacchus upon these ancient foundations. Yet the name Baalbek, Lord of the Bekaa, hints at a much older story. The very stones seem to whisper of a different devotion that laid the groundwork for the grandeur that followed. The sheer size suggests the deity honored was considered the ultimate authority, a master of the elements, and a king among gods. At the heart of the great temple complex, within the most sacred inner sanctum, one can imagine what the people came to see. This was the dwelling place of the idol itself, the physical manifestation of Baal. Picture a towering statue, cast in bronze and plated with shimmering gold. A man's powerful body, the head of a formidable bull, horns symbolizing strength and fertility. In the dim chamber, light danced across polished metal, making it seem alive. Its gem-like eyes stared out over a smoke-stained altar. Into this world of stone temples and golden idols walked a man with a message of radical simplicity. Prophet Ilyas, A.S., known in other traditions as Elijah, was a voice of pure monotheism. He did not arrive with an army or with treasures. He came with words. He came with a question that would awaken the conscience. He was a messenger of the one God, the creator of all things. Prophet Ilyas is revered in Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. He stood firm in the face of widespread corruption and idolatry. He saw them turn away from the source of all life to plead with an object of their own making, more than error, a tragedy. God, for Ilyas, was not made of wood nor of gold. God was the maker of the wood, the gold, and the hands that shaped them. Baal worship was tied to oppression. Offerings impoverished the people. Cruel practices took root. His duty was to call them back to justice, mercy, and sincere worship of the unseen Lord of the worlds. His method was direct and logical, an appeal to reason, not threats. Look around. The sun, the moon, the rain, the earth that grows your food. Who is their true author, the silent idol, or the all-powerful, all-merciful creator? Surah Al-Saffat captures it. Will you call upon Baal and leave the best of creators? Allah, your Lord and the Lord of your forefathers? Ilyas stands before the Grand Temple and lays out the choice with unmistakable clarity. Priests, merchants, and common folk, an entire economy and worldview centered on Baal. He tells them their devotion is a falsehood, an affront to the true source of all goodness and power. The clash is not man versus statue, but worldview versus worldview. On one side, visible, transactional worship demanding material sacrifice and promising control. On the other, the unseen one, calling for faith, gratitude, righteous conduct, and the submission of the heart. He risked ridicule, exile, even death, yet his faith gave him strength to speak truth to power. Few followed at first, but a path to liberation was opened. A single, truthful voice can challenge a mountain of falsehood, no matter how imposing it may seem. The worship of Baal was enforced by power. King Ahab and Jezebel financed prophets, persecuted the righteous, and fused devotion with rule. To defy Baal was to defy the throne. Comfortable falsehood stood against dangerous truth. Names have power, and their power can change over time. Originally, Baal meant Lord, Master, Husband, a title of respect and authority. There were many Baals. The storm god worshipped at Baalbek became the most famous and infamous. As Israelites, Christians, and Muslims grew, Baal became shorthand for idolatry itself. Later theologians recast defeated gods as forces of evil. Baal's name darkened, merged with Zebub in some Jewish and Christian traditions. Baal-Zebub, Beelzebub, rose as a prince of demons. It shows how victors in religious struggle write history and define terms. The golden idol wasn't just defeated, it was demonized. To understand the idol's pull, we must look beyond the statue to subtle forces at play. In Islamic tradition, the source of misguidance is Shaitan, the whisperer, not a rival god, but a tempter. He makes falsehood look beautiful, steering hearts toward wealth, power, security, and pleasure. He sells a simple transaction: give to Baal, get rain; bow to Baal, get victory. He decorates the shortcut, making idolatry look more attractive than the patient path of faith. Thus, the idol becomes a manifestation of whispers, materialism, pride, conformity, crowds marching toward a cliff. Ilyas's struggle was not only against a cult and a crown, but against deceptions that capture the human heart. The statue was the symptom. The disease was the whisper that encouraged greed, arrogance, and worship of creation over creator. This is the metaphysical core, a timeless inner battle to distinguish truth from decorated falsehood. The ruins of Baalbek are silent now. The golden idol is gone. It's easy to feel superior, yet that misses the story's most urgent lesson. The forms of idols change. The tendency to idolize does not. Wealth demands our time, our families, our health, and sometimes our principles. Fame and status lure us to craft personas and beg approval from strangers. Power and ideology promise meaning, security, happiness. But like Baal, they take and take, never giving lasting peace. This story is a mirror. Identify the Baals we serve. What sits at the center of our lives? Smash the invisible idols. Turn back to the best of creators, the one true source of peace, meaning, and life. The stones of Baalbek remind us, civilizations that worship false gods become ruins.